Today we're going to be talking about if guys always come back after they break up with you. And if you stick around until the end of this video, I'm going to let you in on the 5 conditions that need to be present in order for an ex to come back to you. But first, if you haven't already, make sure you visit my website, www.exboyfriendrecovery.com, and take my Ex Recovery Chances quiz. It's a simple 2-minute quiz designed to tell you what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. Taking the quiz is super easy. Simply look in the description link below this YouTube video, click on the link there, and you will be taken directly to the quiz. All right, let's get to it. All right, let's start off by answering that age-old question if all men come back after they break up with you. To level with you, no, not every single man in the world will come back to you after a breakup, but I can show you the conditions that typically need to be present in order for them to come back to you. So ideally, when you're game planning your strategy, you can look at these 5 conditions to improve your odds. Condition number 1, you need to become ungettable. So what does being ungettable mean? Well, more than anything, it's a mindset that you need to adopt. Typically speaking, people are attracted to things that they cannot have. It's an idea of psychological reactance. When you take someone's behavioral freedom away from them, they're more likely to respond in a way to try to get that freedom back. Imagine if you're the one that gets taken away from your ex-boyfriend. All of a sudden, he wants to get you back because you're the ungettable. He can't have you. A few years ago, I was talking to one of my coaching clients and relayed this idea of the ungettable to her. And she really ran with it and took with it. In fact, she was out at a party with one of her friends and introduced the concept to him. He immediately agreed, and they spent the rest of the time looking around the room to find the ungettable girls. So it's a concept that whether men realize it exists or not is always there. Condition number 2, your ex has to have a fear of missing out. So what does this mean, this idea or fear of missing out? Well, really it harps on the idea of the fear of loss. Your ex imagining a future where you aren't with him, and that idea freaking him out to the point where he can't concentrate. He's no longer with you, he's imagining you with someone else. Now, this idea, this fear of loss, often will spur him to action. You'll notice many sales concepts introduce the fear of loss. Hey, there's only 10 more left on sale. Act now. The same principle applies, except you're using you as the sale. Condition number 3, the timing needs to be right. Now, timing is an often undervalued factor when it comes to recovering exes. Most people think that you should just go right away and try to win an ex back, but the worst time to try to win an ex back is immediately after they break up with you. The timing is just simply not right. They're not in the right frame of mind to even be willing to take you back. That's often why we recommend a period of no contact or a period where you're re-attracting them. But there's also the extracurricular factors that you wouldn't even think of. For example, what happens if your ex just had a death in the family? He's clearly not in the right frame of mind to even be considering getting back with you. So one thing you really need to look out for is to make sure that the timing is right for him to take you back. Condition number 4, his sphere of influence helps you. So what is the sphere of influence? Well, simply put, it's the people or friends or family that your ex surrounds himself with that have an influence on his decision-making when it comes to relationships. So let's say that you were in good with his friends and family. They loved you. They were talking about you all the time. They wanted the two of you, let's say, to get married. But then he broke up with you. Well, sometimes if his sphere of influence is talking and asking about you all of the time after the breakup, it can force him to remember some of the experiences that you had together and also force him to reach out and talk to you. So whether you realize it or not, your relationship with the people that your ex surrounds himself with has a pretty interesting factor or condition to making sure that he'll take you back. Condition number 5, your ex looks at you as an equal. Now, I've been doing this for a very long time. I've dealt with thousands of situations, talked to hundreds of women one-on-one on the phone through coaching, and one thing that I've noticed, one common pattern that emerges, is this idea that women tend to put their exes on a pedestal. They think that their ex is some mythical creature that doesn't exist anywhere else, where we already know there's 3.8 billion men out there. There is technically more fish in the sea. Now, what happens is when you try to approach a negotiation or trying to get an ex back, which is essentially a type of negotiation, it never helps you to come in where your ex thinks he's better than you. And he will definitely get that feeling if you have put him on a pedestal. So make sure that you find a way to get him as an equal. And one of the best ways to do that is to look at condition number 1, become ungettable. Hey, thank you so much for getting into the end of this video. If you haven't already, make sure you take our Ex Recovery Chances quiz so that you can figure out what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. Taking the quiz is super easy. Simply look in the description link of this YouTube video, click on the link you see there, and it will get you taken to the quiz. The other thing, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification on this YouTube video so that you can get updated anytime I come out with a new video or respond to one of your comments. I'll see you guys next time.